Hi, welcome to my live stream. If you're watching this on the replay, then you can fast forward this and get to the point where I actually talk about the no pressure way to sell digital products daily. My name is Dee, and over the years I've built several digital businesses, and I teach you how to build a digital product business from zero to $10,000 per month using identity shifting and strategy as well. And I'm doing 30 days of lives. Today's day 22 of my live stream challenge. I'm nearly done. Yay! I'm going to wait until a few people get into live, and then I will get straight into it. I haven't really been doing face forward lives because I've had a few issues with my equipment. So I'm going to stick to this until I get that sorted. Today we're going to be talking about a no pressure way to sell digital products daily. So anyone who is in the live, have you ever sold digital products before? And if you have, what have been your major pain points when it comes to selling digital products? So I'm going to do a quick poll here. What's your pain point when selling digital products? I'm going to say ideation, traffic, marketing, consistency. Okay, let's get into this. Put this poll up. I've noticed though when the live is actually active on the video, so when it's on the replay you don't seem to see the poll, which is quite strange. Anyway, I'm going to get into this, even if I'll wait a bit. I'll wait to see if anyone comes into the live, and then I'll get on with it. If no one comes in, I'll still carry on because I've got a time constraint. I've got a time constraint for this, so I want to get into it and start talking about this no pressure way to sell digital products. Hi, I can see one person there. Do you sell digital products? Have you sold digital products? Do you want to sell digital products? I have a poll here that says, what's your pain point when selling digital products? Ideation, traffic, marketing, or consistency? What's your major pain point when selling digital products? Or what do you think your pain point would be? Put that in the chat, or you can just do the poll and see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. A lot of people say they have a problem with consistency and with marketing. I think as a newbie digital product seller, you're probably going to have problems with the last three: traffic, marketing, and consistency. Most people seem to have a lot of ideas, but struggle when it comes down to traffic, marketing, and consistency. Hi, welcome to the live. I'm doing 30 days of live streaming. Today's day 22. I'm a digital product seller, digital entrepreneur, software developer, and writer. And over the years, I've built several digital businesses using written content, specifically using written content. But I teach how to build digital product businesses using identity shifting and strategy. And over these past days that I've been doing this challenge, live streaming, I've been talking about digital product selling, and I've been talking about mindset as well. So if you're someone who has sold digital products in the past and you have any tips for anybody, you can leave them in the chat. If you have any questions, you can also leave them in the chat. And you can also check out in my bio, I have a couple of links there. One of them is my 33 Digital Abundance Challenge. And another one is my Release the Pain sessions, which is really good for people that are struggling with feeling stuck and need to release whatever trauma that they're going through in order to start, build something successful. So let's get into this. Selling every day, it sounds exhausting. Selling anything every day sounds exhausting. What people often think about when it comes to having consistent sales is constant promotion, aggressive call to action, and the feeling that you're always asking for something. That can get a bit tiring for some people, do you know? By the way, if you're someone who you really want to make money online but you don't want to sell anything, then you can send me an email. My email's in the bio. I have something called a Remote Tasks Club. If you want to sign up to that, you can start making money without having to sell anything at all. But anyway, let's get into it. Daily sales don't come from pushing harder. They come from building systems that work quietly in the background. So here's how to sell digital products consistently. It might not be daily, but consistently without pressure, stress, or chasing people. The first thing is to shift from selling to guiding. Shift from selling to guiding. What does that actually mean, to shift from selling to guiding? Obviously, you're selling digital products, but how do you shift from the selling to the guiding? People resist being sold to. I think most people don't like being sold to. They don't want it. They don't resist being guided, though. Instead of telling your audience to buy, show them what's possible, what's currently holding them back, and what's the next logical step looks like. And the next logical step usually is supposed to look like buying your digital product. Often, if you give people enough information, but there's something else that needs to be done in order to take the next step, the next logical step is purchasing your product. When your content feels like guidance, buying feels like self-direction. Doesn't feel like they're being forced into purchasing it. You really want your audience to purchase from you because they feel like they're being guided softly into it, not like you must buy this. If you don't buy it, then it's a be-all and end-all thing. It really should be a soft guiding rather than a forced pushing into people purchasing a digital product. Next thing is to create content that answers one question. High-pressure selling tries to do too much at once, but low-pressure selling answers one question per piece of content. So, for example, this live stream is answering the question of, how do I sell digital products daily? It's just one question, but it's providing solutions step by step. Low pressure selling answers one question per piece of content. So why isn't this working? What should I focus on first? And what mistake am I making? The other day I made a piece of content. It was just live like this, and I talked about 7 mistakes that digital creators make. And I answered the questions. Okay? When your content consistently reduces confusion, trust builds naturally, and trust leads to sales. Okay? Number 3 is you want to let your product finish the conversation. Your content shouldn't try to do everything. Its job is to spark awareness, it's to create clarity, it's to build belief. Your product exists to provide structure, offer depth, and create transformation. So when content opens the loop and the product closes it, selling feels seamless. And it's much easier anyway when you do it like that. If you have any questions, you can leave those in the chat and I will definitely answer them for you. Next up is to sell through consistency, not urgency. Urgency works short term and consistency works long term. So when people see you show up regularly with the same message, point of view and values, buying feels safe. This is the reason why I say this, that you should stick to 3 to 5 core ideas in your content. And what's going to happen is people are just going to continuously keep on hearing the same message over and over and over again. Eventually they'll buy something from you. They'll begin to know, like, and trust you, and eventually they'll buy something from you. Remember this. People need to be reminded more than they need to be taught. So you don't need to keep bringing new ideas every time. You just need to keep rinsing and repeating the same ones. They trust that you'll still be there tomorrow, and that matters. People want to see creators producing content on a regular basis. If you create content and then disappear for weeks, people just think, this person's not serious. I mean, obviously, if you come back and say that something has really happened, that's different. But if nothing like that's happened and you just turn up and say, oh, I was just busy or whatever, people are not going to really trust you anymore and they're not going to want to buy anything. Make buying feel like a natural step. The best no pressure sales doesn't feel like decisions. They feel like progress. So if your product is clearly positioned as the next step, the missing piece, the organized version of what you already teach, people buy without needing convincing. Let me tell you a story quickly. I made my first 10K with a digital product called the Blog Accelerator. How to start earning $4,000 a month from your blog. This is what my ebook was called. And that ebook was literally a lengthened version of an article that I wrote a few weeks earlier. And I had hundreds, almost thousands of comments on that article. And I noticed that most people were having an issue with how to monetize their blog and how to actually start making that money. And that seemed to be the major thing. And so I wrote an entire e-guide about this topic. And when I say the first day that I put the link in my article and I sent out an email blast to people to say, this is the new guide teaching you how to build a blog from $0 to $4,000 a month. First day, 10 sales. And I was like, okay, good. Second day, 15 to 20 sales. It kept on going up and up. I made my first 10K from that one ebook. Okay? And so you don't necessarily need to be like, okay, right, I'm going to create something that is completely fresh and new outside of the content I'm creating. No. Hi, Ravindra. What you want to do is you want to look at the content that you have and see which content has resonated the most. Look at all the comments and all of that. And then you want to create like an extended version of a piece of content that you already have. That's probably one of the easiest ways of creating a digital product. You want to give them more information, you want to go more in depth, and you say, okay, this is my ebook, this is my course, or this is my webinar, and it's going to go into more detail as to how to do a specific thing. So your product should be clearly positioned as the next step, the missing piece, the organized version of what you already teach. And people will buy without needing convincing. Trust and do believe. You want to keep the offer simple and available. Daily sales don't come from complicated funnels. They come from a clear product, a simple explanation, an always available link. When someone is ready, they shouldn't have to wait. This is the beauty of digital products. You know, when you have a digital product that has a clear objective and a clear transformation for that person that is purchasing it, and the link is available all the time, you can make sales as you sleep. You can wake up to sales. You can wake up to Gumroad notifications, Stan Store notifications, PayHip notifications every single day, because your store is open 24/7 all over the world, no matter where people are based. Digital products is always going to be my number one thing to sell online. And I'm going to stand by that 10 toes deep, because I've made the most money. When it comes to selling something anyway, I've made the most money from digital products. I've made more money from digital products than I have from selling anything else. It's not even an opinion, this is the fact for me. Digital products can lead to also digital services. And digital services can lead to massive contracts. They can lead to speaking engagements. They can lead to all kinds of things. Okay? Final thought. I want to go through what I have already discussed here. But finally, I want to just say that no pressure selling is not passive. It's intentional. You know, yes, you can make passive income as you sleep and all of that, but the strategy is not necessarily completely passive. It's intentional. So when your content guides, your product clarifies, and your message stays consistent, selling doesn't feel like selling. It feels like helping every single day. I'm going to go back to number one, and I'm going to just recap here. So if you're just coming into the live, just so that you can get an idea as to what I talked about, it's a no pressure way to sell digital products daily, and I'm just going to go through 1 to 6 the ways of doing that, but I'm not going to go into detail for each one. So you want to shift from selling to guiding. That's the first one. You want to create content that answers one question. That's the second one. You want to list your product. Sorry, you want to let your product finish the conversation. You want to sell through consistency, not through urgency. You want to make buying feel like a natural step, and you want to keep the offer simple and available. That is how you're going to sell more digital products, and how you're going to most likely eventually start selling digital products on a daily basis, or at least consistently. I teach you how to build a digital product business from $0 to $10,000 a month. I have an accelerator program called the 90-Day Accelerator that can help you do this in 90 days if you stick to it and you listen to exactly what I say. Often people say, oh, the coaching doesn't work. No, it didn't work. The reason why people say that is because they do not do the work. They expect the coach to be there, the person who does the work for them. No, it's not a done for you offer. It's coaching. It's a guidance. It's helping you to take the steps. You take the steps, not we take the steps. So if you're serious about building a digital product business from 0 to 10K a month, I have an email in my bio. I do not invite anyone to come and do this particular thing. It is something that I only invite those who are deadly serious and want to take the next step. Hi, Rohit Kumar. People that I'm going to answer, I'm going to mention something to you in a minute. You mentioned from the poll that traffic is the thing that you have a problem with. I'm going to talk to you about it in a minute. You really want to take it seriously if you want to build a digital product business. You don't want to see it as a hobby. Even if you do have a job, even if you have another additional business, you don't want to see it as a hobby. You want to see it as a job, something that you really, really are taking seriously, because if you just see it as a hobby, you'll make pennies and you will blame it on digital marketing and say it doesn't work when it does work. It's consistency, it's mindset, it's strategy, it's identity shifting, it's a lot of things. There's many moving parts to building a digital product business. Yeah, so we're talking about traffic to your blog, to your digital product. To your digital product. So if you have a website, fine. If you're selling digital products on Stan Store, if you're selling digital products on Gumroad or any of the platforms, some people say that their main pain point when it comes to selling digital products is traffic. And I'm going to tell you this: if you have the money, you want to be using paid ads. If you really are having a problem with traffic, if you have the money, start experimenting with paid ads. But I will say this: paid ads, if you really want to get your return on your investment, you want to make sure that you're using paid ads for high ticket products. Because when you're using it for low ticket products, unless you're just using it for lead generation, you're going to throw a lot of money down the drain. You see? You're going to throw a lot of money down the drain. If traffic is an issue for you, you want to build an army of affiliates. You want to build an army of affiliates, of people that can sell your product for you. When I say an army, I mean a huge army of affiliates that are going to promote your product. They are going to create content about your product, and that you're going to build a team of people that can literally sell your product while you're sleeping. And even if you don't produce content, other people are going to produce it for you. You see, so if you don't have the upfront money and you don't have the money to pay people to do all that work, you want to build an army of affiliates, and you want to make sure you give them a very good commission. Traffic shouldn't really be a problem for you if you're creating a lot of high value content. When I say high value content, I'm talking about a ton of high value content, not just, I'm going to post on YouTube once every 3 months. I'm going to post on TikTok whenever I have the time. No, you see it as a job, and you're posting on several platforms. Yes, when you first start out, I recommend posting just on one platform to really get the feel of it and to really build your platform. But over time, you want to be adding the different platforms. You want to be on YouTube, you want to be on Instagram, you want to be on TikTok. You want to be on Threads. You want to be on Twitter. Like you want to be, you want to be on majority of the platforms if you really want to take things to the next level and grow it. You know, you want to be on Reddit. You want to be in there, fully immersed in the community that surrounds your niche. You don't want to just sit back passively and be on only YouTube and say, oh, it's not working. If you're just on one platform and you're sitting there complaining that it's not working, it means that you just really don't want it bad enough. You want to be on the, think about it. Think about it like this. Look at someone like Gary Vee. Gary Vee is already rich. Very, very, very rich. He doesn't need the money, but he's on all the platforms. Yes, he has a team. I get it. But he's still on all the platforms. So if he didn't understand the value of it, he wouldn't be on all those platforms. Alex Hormozi is the same. He's on all the platforms. I'm not going to sit here and say that you need to be on every single platform known to man, because it's kind of impossible to do it if you're just one person. I'm going to also recommend that you really get into streaming. If you haven't started streaming, you want to start streaming, and you want to start today. I just recently started streaming on TikTok, and honestly, I've had a few sales on TikTok, and they haven't even been from hard selling. It's just been from sitting there having a chat, and people say, oh, what do you do? And you're like, oh, I do this. And they're like, oh, wow, that's amazing. Okay, cool. And then they end up coming into your DMs and asking you for a link, and the rest is history. In my opinion, out of all the platforms to stream on, I'm going to say TikTok is the best when it comes to selling digital products. That's my opinion. I don't know what other people are going to say, but that's my opinion. I think YouTube is cool because it helps you to build subscribers, and eventually those subscribers will turn into loyal fans and viewers, and eventually you might make more sales. But when it comes to making sales from digital products, TikTok is head and shoulders above all of the rest. It is what it is. You know, it is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. I've noticed that from the poll, nobody said ideation and nobody said consistency. It seems people have a lot of ideas, but they don't have a lot of knowledge when it comes to marketing and to traffic. It's the same thing, really, I guess, combining the two. Traffic generation, marketing. Obviously, your marketing is going to lead to that traffic generation. But you want to just really go all in with posting content. If you don't have the money for paid ads, and you want to be posting really helpful content as well. How to, you're solving a problem. Why you should be doing this, you're solving a problem. 5 mistakes that your audience make, or you can be doing shorts like this is the mistake that you're making as the baker, or as a clothes designer, or as a new business owner, whatever. You want to create the kind of content that pulls people in, and it's content that is providing value. And the person's next logical step should be to purchase your digital product. For example, a lot of people struggle with consistency. A lot of people struggle with their mindset and self-doubt. So I've created a product called the 33 Digital Abundance Challenge, and it solves the problem of consistency and mindset. It's actually solving 2 problems, but you can actually pick one problem and you can focus on that problem for the 33 Digital Abundance Challenge. Okay? I've also created another product called the 90-Day Accelerator Program. What does this program solve? It solves the problem of confusion when it comes to building a digital product business. I help you to create clarity on that and how to move forward, accelerate, and build a really high-level digital product business and really start making some money that you can use, not just a few pennies here and there. 0 to 10K a month, higher, we're taking it to the next level. Okay? You want to start taking it seriously. If you want to make money from your digital products, you want to start taking it seriously. You want to start creating content like it's your job, like your life depends on this. You don't want to just be creating digital products for fun. You want to be creating digital products like your life depends on it. Sorry, creating content, I mean. YouTube. I personally think that you need to just pick one platform in the beginning, go all in with that platform for a few months, really build it up, and then add another one. And then when you add that other platform, you're going to tell people from that particular platform that you've already built, please check out my other platform, TikTok, that I've just opened, because I'm going to be doing a series on that particular page that isn't going to be on this channel. When you get onto TikTok and you start building your followers, you can eventually start going live. And when you start going live, my goodness, you start getting followers every day. It turns into a whole thing where people are just following you non-stop, you see, and you get new followers. And so TikTok, in my opinion, out of all the social media platforms, is the easiest to grow on. And I remember back in the day, TikTok used to be just for like teenagers, and you really wouldn't be able to sell much on there. But now everybody is on there. The older generation, people that are in, the boomers are in there. You've got Gen X, you've got Gen Z, you've got the millennials on there. Everyone's on TikTok now. And so TikTok is a place that you can really grow very, very quickly on there and start making money. So I'm going to say for digital products, when it comes to the video content, I'm going to say YouTube and TikTok. Start with one and build out. If you want to be on YouTube, if you want to be able to put a digital product link straight away into your social media, then I'm going to say YouTube, because you can put a link in straight away. As long as you have verified your page, you don't need a certain amount of followers. But TikTok, you need at least 1,000 followers to put a link there. You see, so, but one thing about TikTok is that you can put your YouTube link in TikTok right from the beginning as well. So pick your platform. Personally, I've noticed that TikTok grows faster, but you can't put a link in there straight away. So you pick your platform, one platform, go all in for the next 90 days. When I say all in, I'm talking about daily content, not just once in a while. For 90 days, you're going to go all in. You're going to go crazy, publishing, posting. And you're going to be posting content that solves a problem for a specific audience. You're not going to be creating content just randomly. You're going to, if you want to sell digital products, you want to focus on a specific niche, and you want to create content for that niche. I know a lot of people say don't niche down, but I'm going to tell you, when it comes to digital products, absolutely niche down. You don't want to just create a TikTok page about some random topics and you're just in there, vlogging and random stuff. No, you want to create a TikTok page or a YouTube channel that is based on around a specific niche. And then from there, you want to be producing value-packed content that solves a problem. And then from there, you want to create a digital product. But I'm going to strongly suggest that you create a Discord group surrounding that specific niche, in addition to the platform that you're creating content on. And then from there, you've built up this little community that when you start producing your digital products, you put it out there, you're going to get sales straight away from your Discord group. And then you put the link in the bio in your TikTok page or your YouTube, and that's it. It's a wrap. You just continue producing more content. The compound effects kicks in, and by the time you realise you're making daily sales on autopilot, and you're going to start thinking, wow, is this magic? It's not magic. It's just logic. Compound effect works. It creates a snowball effect. You eventually start getting more sales and more sales. Those same people that have bought one product from you will eventually buy more and more and more. Tell their friends about it. That keeps happening. You tell them, the people that have purchased your product, to become your affiliates and promote your products for you. And it creates a bigger compound effect. And it's a huge, massive ecosystem of content produced around your specific topic. And by the time you realise you're making 10K a month, 20K, 30K, 40K, 50K, 100K, it's not impossible. When you hear the words 100K, you think, oh my gosh, there's no way I can make that kind of money. The reason why you think you can't make that kind of money is because your mindset is a mindset that is geared towards lack. If you believe in your heart and soul that you can make 100K a month, I can guarantee you in 6 months you're going to be able to make that money. I'm not saying this for nothing. I'm saying this because it's true. If you believe wholeheartedly and you step into the identity of the person who is making 100K a month, 50K a month, 20K, 30K, 40K a month, trust and do believe you will make that money. But you have to put in the work. You have to put in the time. You cannot expect things to be easy. just slap a bunch of random content online whenever you feel like doing it. You have to produce content daily. I don't care what anyone says. Daily content, especially when you're new, because you want to get yourself in the algorithm. You want to embed yourself in the algorithm. And you don't need 100,000 followers either. In my opinion, you just need 1,000 loyal subscribers or followers. And when you have those, you will start making sales hand over fist. And even on TikTok, I've only got 368 followers, I think 370 followers. And I haven't been on there for very long. And I haven't been live streaming for very long. And I've already made a few sales through TikTok alone. And why have I made sales through TikTok? Because I've been doing a live stream challenge on there. So I'm going to suggest you do a content challenge. If you really want to build a digital product business, you want to do a live stream challenge or some sort of content challenge, do not mess around with it. Do it, stick to it, remain consistent, and don't break the chain. If you break the chain, you have to start from scratch. So if you do a 30-day challenge and you break the chain, you have to start again. Anyway, I've kind of got a bit of the point, actually, from this live. I only wanted it to be 30 minutes long. If you want to build a digital product business and you're ready to hit 10K months and you're serious, please send me an email via the email in my bio. I don't want any time wasters either. I want people that are really serious. That's the reason why I don't put the link there. Because when I put the link there, people buy it. And when they buy it, it might be the wrong type of person. And it just ends up being a waste of time. So if you're really, really ready to build a profitable digital product business, 0 to 10K a month, this is not a joke, send me an email. If you're ready to do it, but yet you don't have the money to do coaching, then you can go ahead and sign up to the 33 Digital Abundance Challenge for you to start getting your mindset in gear and start getting consistent with your content to build a powerful digital business. I'm going to leave this stream here. I'm grateful for you guys that jumped in to listen. And come back tomorrow for another piece about digital products. Take care.